Hi, I'm Simon Edgoose and I'm here at Drumshop in Gateshead to show you the Yamaha DTX582, which is this kit I've got in front of me now. It's a standard 5-piece kit from the 502 range, which is a mid-range kit. Very, very powerful. Just show you a few things. The drums, the pads themselves, the drum pads are Yamaha silicon pads, so they've got a layer of silicon with thousands of bubbles inside it, which makes a very, very comfortable playing surface, and they'll follow what you play incredibly closely. The sounds themselves are all digital recordings of real instruments, so when you hit the snare pad, for instance, you're hearing a sound of a snare drum which was recorded in a studio. There's nothing synthesized here, these are all real drum sounds. So pad-wise, the snare drum is 3-zone. I've got head, cross-stick, rim shot. Same on the cymbals. I've got bell, bow, edge, and choke for the 2 cymbals, and the hi-hat is 2-zone. And the module, which is the bit down here, the 502 module, is the clever bit. It's got over 1,000 sounds built into it, so a great library to start from, but you can also put your own sounds into it as well. So I'll come back to that in a second. And the bass drum pad is a new design, 10-inch bass drum pad, so it's bigger. You can get a double pedal on it very easily, but you don't have to, because what you can do is you can always, if you wanted to, you can always change the hi-hat into a second bass drum, if you want to do that. Right. Okay, as well as being able to play drum sounds, you can also put melodic parts onto this if you want to do some EDM and put some interesting keyboard stuff onto the pad, so you can do that as well. But obviously the drum sounds are what we're really interested in. So we'll do some cutaways to some drumming, so you can hear some of the internal kits. I can layer any 2 sounds together, so I've got over 1 million combinations of sounds. There's ridiculously large amounts of stuff here. Very, very cool. Right, and I mentioned sampling earlier, so on this drum kit I've got...
Would have been mine if it hadn't been for those meddling kids.
Something which might sound familiar, or a snare drum which I sampled earlier at home. And I can just put the samples into this kit. Very, very cool. But if I want to change them in any way, if I want to say maybe change the pitch, it's only a matter of pushing 2 buttons and turning the wheel. So everything is very, very compact and easy to do. There's training functions built into this. So for instance, if I wanted to do, let's do something called rhythm gate. If I just play this, you can hear the click. Let's slow the click down a little bit. This is a really, really, really good training function. So there's my click. When I play in time with it, 2, 3, 4, you hear everything. But if I've had too much coffee and I start to speed up, it turns the pads off. Likewise, if I come back onto it, if I've had a big meal and I slow down too much, it turns the pads off again. So really, really cool training functions built into this. So we'll do some cutaways with some sounds, internal sounds, covering everything from jazz to rock to pop to ethnic stuff. Very, 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 very powerful. And we'll also come back and I'll just very briefly show you the apps as well. This is the DTX502 Touch app, which is a free app available from the Apple Store. And what this is an editor for the 502 module. So you can edit everything from the front of the module, but this is a much easier way of doing it. And I'll just show you how it works. Really, really simple. So if I just hit Tom 2 or Tom 1, you'll see it light up. And it's showing me that it's Maple Custom High Tom. If I want to change that, I could change that to, well, let's change it to a snare, and let's change it to a Beach Custom snare. Okay, let's go back, change the pitch. All I've got to do is just drag this slider. If I want to change the muffling, I can muffle the sound. It's really hands-on, it's very easy to work with. So you can design each instrument, you can put them together into kits. You can just flick through the kits, and as you change the kit here, it actually changes on the front of the module as well. So you can edit all your sounds, but for me, what makes it very useful is this thing called a data manager, and it means I can just back up everything from the module onto my iPad, onto my Dropbox, so I never have to run out of space. I can have an infinitely large library of sounds. So this is the DTX502 Touch app, and that is free from the App Store. If you want to put your own samples into the 502 module, you can use something called the Yamaha MusicSoft app, which is what I'm opening up here. It's very, very simple. It doesn't look great fun, but it's very, very practical. I can store everything on there, but I can store my samples. So to give you an idea, let's pick this snare drum sample, put transfer onto it, transfer into the 502 module, into the memory, into there, choose which location I want, and that's it. That's all you have to do. You just leave that running. It transfers it via the USB cable and an Apple camera connection kit, which is what I got connected to the iPad here, and it's as easy as that. That's how you can put transfer your own samples into the 502 module.